from 2D to track lights. And let's click on options to change the flare type. Choose the natural flares folder, go down and choose tag light. Just a little change in the global parameters. The global color should be white. Press OK and OK again. Increase the brightness and a bit the scale, and finally let's add a little bit of flicker. The speed 25 and the amount maybe 15. Okay, now we're going to add a new adjustment layer and call it color correction, and drag some curves and just add some contrast. So let's make a quick run preview. Okay, this looks very nice. Make sure that you have activated the motion blur for the particle layer and for the composition. And now we have to add a bit of depth of field, so let's select the camera, press AA in the keyboard, and here we have the camera options and the depth of field. Let's enable it, and we are going to increase the aperture to maybe 150, and moving the focus distance we're going to find our object. Here it is, and this looks great. So let's close the camera, and we're going to make some little color correction changes. Let's type tint and drag it to the color correction layer, and we're going to put there maybe 35% of amount, and let's type again curves and drag it to the layer, and we're going to make some contrast, and let's go to blue channel and make some changes. Okay, and to the red, and this should be okay. Okay, we're going now to optical flare layer and type fast blur, just to blur a bit the light, maybe 60. It's okay. Repeat edge pixels, and we're going to add a bit of noise to this layer. Type noise, drag it to the layer, and I think 2% is going to be okay, and uncheck use color noise. Okay, to finish the work we're going to element layer, output, sampling and aliasing, and if you want better quality in the render you can change the super sampling to 2, and you'll see that it's going to increase the quality a lot. The render is going to be slower but the quality better. And finally let's open up the multipass mixer just to make some little changes. I'm going to increase a bit the specular to maybe 2, and the diffuse is going to be 0.9. So let's make a run preview to see what we have done. Okay, this looks very nice. So now we're going to duplicate the composition just to make some camera movements. Let's select the composition and press Ctrl D in the keyboard and double click on it. Okay, here we have to select the particles layer and erase it. And now select the camera, press AA and switch off the depth of field. Now we're going to take the camera tool and go to the point we like. Okay, I think this is a good place. So let's enable again the depth of field, and we're going to decrease a bit the aperture to 100 and move again the focus distance just to find our object. Okay, here it is. And in this case we're going to animate the focus distance. So let's click on the stopwatch of the focus distance, go forward to the last frame and animate the focus distance. Okay, this is already finished. So if you look close, you can see here some lines, and I don't like them, and I think you don't like them also. So you can go to this button and press Alt on the keyboard and just click once and click again. You can see that the lines disappear and this looks better. The lights are going to be more natural and this is going to be very slow to render, but it's going to be very nice. And let's make a preview. Okay, this is great, and to finish we're going to duplicate again the first composition. Let's go, select the first organic sphere composition, press Ctrl D on the keyboard and double click. Here we're going to delete the particles layer, and I'm going to change from 32 bits per channel to 8 because we have to work quickly. Press Alt on the keyboard and click on it. For the element layer we're going to the effect controls and change the super sampling to 0 just to work quickly. And let's go to select the camera, press AA on the keyboard and uncheck the depth of field. In this case we're going to get inside the organic sphere, so let's take the camera tool and move the camera inside the organic sphere. Okay, here we are. There's no light, so we have to select the light layer, press P for the position, and we're going to move it forward. And here we have the light. So let's select again the camera tool and reposition the camera. I think this is a good point. Let's move a bit the light again. It's going to appear there. Okay. In this case I'm going to decrease a bit the specula, so let's select the element 3D layer, and in the multipass mixer we're going to change the specular from 2 to 1, and it's done. Let's go again to the camera and enable the depth of field. And now we have to find the point in the focus distance. Here it is. We're going to change the aperture to maybe 100 and let's animate the focus distance. Go to the first frame, click on the stopwatch, go to the last frame and move the focus distance forward. Okay, let's change again in the element layer the super sampling to 2 and let's make a quick run preview. Okay, this looks very nice. So to finish, we're going to create a new composition, 1280 by 720, 25 frames per second, and in this case 15 seconds duration, and press OK. We're going to call it final. Double click on it and let's select 3 compositions, drag them to the final comp, move the second one there and the third one there, and let's make a render to see the final result. Okay, I hope this was helpful for you guys. You can leave your comments or questions below. You can also check out my website, and thanks for watching.